Alright, so I've charged the battery and I'm ready to finish what I was trying to say in part 1. So I've called this part 2 of free energy in the Epstein files. And so I'm quite convinced that this is a sophisticated plan of disclosure. So I'm saying that that DataSet 9 shows up in the Epstein files because zero-point energy is breaking. It wasn't a mistake or wasn't by accident that the feds put it in there. It was deliberate, on purpose. And it's because they know what happened at RYERSON, and this is the next step towards disclosure. And the goal is to put zero-point energy into the public domain. We're almost there. We're this close. Just a few more steps and you have free energy and flying cars. Zero-point energy is a global change event. It brings good back into the world and it leaves a post-generational impact. So what I'm saying is the ZPE from Puthoff is working. It got suppressed. In 2013, Colleen was abducted and she is at the same planet the textbook is from that SRI had. And by the way, Robert Bigelow has that now. And John Alexander is one of the people who read it, who also did 9/11. This ties everything back together. So what I'm saying, and how we get to the full disclosure, Congress, which is currently wrestling with the defense contractors and the UAP hearings, is trying to get the free energy out of the defense contractors. But, you know, I can't tell my friends without telling my enemies. And also, at least 64 disciplines will suffer major disruption from full UAP disclosure. But my hope is, I hope that Congress will call me to testify because this ties it all together. They have to, you have free energy from the UAP stuff. You can take an act on new predictions that would save innocent lives. And they have to hold the past negligence accountable, including 9/11, for which there is the death penalty, because we give, for treason, we give the death penalty, and Alexander, the lizard person, should hang, reptilian lizard. So what I'm saying, if Congress does call me to testify, and I hope they do, they should take an act on new predictions, which can save innocent lives, hold the past negligence accountable, place zero-point energy in the public domain. So key witnesses to voir dire, and by the way, the review has already done this, Gloria Epstein, the review into MacArthur and police negligence in Toronto. They've crossed RYERSON and they've proved everything I'm saying. Then they went and censored the report. In civilians' name they were acting. Who told them to censor the report? Who told them to do that? They could have announced this a long time ago. They proved everything I'm saying, and then in a cowardly, shameful way, they went and censored their report. Anyway, you can't claim lawyer's privilege in front of Congress, Mr. Mark Sandler. The key witnesses to voir dire, Frank STRONACH, the head of MAGNA. He told Bill Clinton on the golf course in the 90s about 9/11, and I'm quite convinced also that's why events were messed up on that day, and you know, WT7 just falls down on its own, another plane crashes in a field for no reason, and yeah, that's because STRONACH did do something about it. He told Bill Clinton, and they tried to do something which caused problems for the insiders. Okay, so STRONACH is alive today. He's fairly elderly. He was born in 1933, so he's like 80, almost 90 years old. He's on trial right now, on trial for his own sex assault case. Coincidentally, Mayor John Tory was on the police board, and he is privy to the review's audio tapes where I make the correct coronavirus predictions the head of Rogers, Tony Staffieri, the CEO of Rogers, he's also the chair of Ryerson, and he can convene a hearing at Ryerson where we cross-examine these witnesses again. And who are the Ryerson witnesses and what happened there? Colleen was abducted. That's one thing that happened there. But what I was trying to finish in part one was to say who the review Mark Sandler cross-examined and proved what I am saying. And one of the persons Sandler did call, because they talked with the police, MONIQUE TSCHOFEN, a professor in the English department at Ryerson. She was at 40 College Street with an English student, Yoga Girl. They had a hard copy of the 2013 France warnings, which includes Incel, Danforth, MacArthur, the 3 events in France, and Post nightclub. Chief DEMKIW dismissed it. Saunders Raymer DEMKIW, the chief of Toronto Police. We give $1 billion to Toronto Police. They have the audacity to put leaders in counterterrorism after their name. When I warn them of terrorism, then they're like, you're harassing us. You're harassing us. Stop harassing us. It's not our catchment area. It's not our catchment area. 71 Winchester Street is to your catchment area. Then the review found all these warnings I was sending to the Toronto Police, and they called me to give a statement at their law office on Bay Street. And that is where NAS records the coronavirus set of predictions, which they are hiding. Which they, by the way, NAS, why did you not arrest Gabriel Wortman? You knew he was going to start shooting. Why did you claim to the commission in Nova Scotia that lawyer's privilege and you don't want to talk about this? You're not able to claim lawyer's privilege in front of Congress. Same with Gloria Epstein and same with Mark Sandler. They proved everything I'm saying. Then they falsified the civilians review, and they've tarnished the name of civilians, and they need to be held accountable for that. Why didn't you save the life of Kobe Bryant? Why didn't you tell Kobe Bryant his helicopter was going to crash on the day of the Academy Awards? You 100% knew that was going to happen. Anyway, people, Sandler of the review crossed, and they should be re-cross-examined by Congress. And believe me, Congress, the FBI and the feds know what they're doing. They proved what happened at Ryerson, and they put the DataSet 9 in the Epstein files on purpose, because this is the path to disclosure, a very sophisticated plan to UAP disclosure, and to get zero-point energy. My best witness, ROBYN DOOLITTLE, Globe and Mail. She knew about 9/11 when she was the editor of the student newspaper at Ryerson. She knew about the 2006 Fukushima warnings, which were distributed at IRVA 2006 in Las Vegas, and Colonel John Alexander took a hard copy of. It also includes Tory Stafford. ROBYN DOOLITTLE went to investigate Tory Stafford. Daniel Dale went to investigate Russell Williams. Fukushima and BP oil spill are also in there. Yeah, Toronto Police, you don't want to talk about that, do you? ROBYN DOOLITTLE gave all of the correct predictions, the 2013 set of correct predictions, Bataclan Theatre, to David Walmsley. In 2019, we also make the coronavirus set of predictions. Ramona Pringle, very honest person. She's always been honest. She gave the correct predictions to Charles FALZON, the Dean of FCAD. FCAD is the Fashion and Communications and Design. In Toronto at Ryerson University is RTA, Radio and Television Arts. Pringle was a professor there. She has the France warnings. She gives it to Charles FALZON, the Dean of FCAD. He wants to do an emergency broadcast, but somehow he gets overruled by the upper Ryerson management and the Ryerson lawyer and the faculty. The whole school knew about this. All of them should be cross-examined. Oh, lecture predictions are an open lecture. RTA class of 2015. 164 witnesses. I was talking with FALZON about this in the capstone lectures. Okay, so FALZON gets quashed from doing his emergency broadcast, which the CBC should have been doing anyway. And they also have all this information. Catherine Tate, head of the CBC, what are we giving you $1 billion for? And an emergency broadcast system that you don't even know how to turn on. So the review proved everything I'm saying. Epstein, Naz, and Sandler. Sandler's the head lawyer at the review. Naz is a Crown attorney in Brampton. And Gloria Epstein is the judge who tarnished the name of civilians. Toronto Police, Saunders, Raymer, DEMKIW, all of them, I've talked with in person, face to face, and looked them in the eye about the correct predictions. It's Saunders who said that this is harassment, even though he knows there are correct predictions. He's trying to cover his stinking ass. He almost assaulted me in front of City Hall when he put his name in to run for mayor. I told him, Saunders, why did you tarnish the name of civilians? There never was no predictions! There never was no predictions! Saunders, you're a liar. And you're going to be caught, you are caught, and you're going to be testify in Congress why you're a goddamn liar. You want to walk off with your $1 million pension and tarnish the name of civilians? We're going to grill your ass. Okay, so all the chiefs of Toronto Police are liars. Saunders, Raymer, and DEMKIW are the liars. They all lie. They are liars. Reporters at the CBC, Toronto Star, Globe and Mail, they know about this. RTA class of 2015. Yoga girl, where are you? You don't have anything to say? What about these 5 women I say who manifested superpowers? Where, Shauna, you don't want to say anything? You don't have anything to say? Maya, you have nothing to say? RTA class of 2015, 200 witnesses. EFTA 00165.439.pdf.dataset 9. The feds put that into the Epstein report on purpose, deliberate. It was not a mistake, it was not an accident, because they want 0 Point Energy to break. They 100% know what happened at Ryerson, and this is the path to disclosure, a very sophisticated path to disclosure. And my hope is that Congress will call me to testify at the UAP hearings, at the Epstein hearings, call me to testify, and, voir dire my witnesses. So this ties it all together. You have a UAP contact, which is reproducible. They're trying to give us free energy. From put off, the second generation of remote viewing experiments happens at Ryerson. And I believe if we get a public, candid confession out of Colleen, that will push the 0 Point Energy from how put off into the public domain. And this is good news. I'm saving the bacon of Elon Musk. I'm saving the bacon of Bill Gates. Okay, they're PDFs, but at least we're getting free energy. At least we're getting free energy. The 0 Point Energy is going to break. I know it. And this is the path forward. The path forward is for Congress to call me as a witness and voir dire the Ryerson witnesses. Streak test Halen, psychic test Shauna. Shauna Davis helped me come up with the 2013 France set of warnings. Name, date, and place. She knows exactly what is in there. She knows it was reported to the Toronto Police. Oh, by the way, it was sent to the FBI. The FBI has a copy of this. Mark Sandler has a copy of this. The Review has a copy of this. The Toronto Police has a copy of this. Ryerson has a copy of this. In 2019, at the Review, we record a new set of predictions. Coronavirus, Kobe Bryant, Ukraine Jet 752, Gabriel Wortman. What is it, Mr. Sandler? Why are you not talking? You cannot claim lawyer's privilege in front of Congress. You've tarnished the name of civilians, and we're going to find you, and we're going to grill you. Okay, and so, as I say, the Review proved everything I'm saying. In 1990, I made correct predictions of 9/11. Toronto Police also have that. So do the FBI. I say it live to air on the Art Bell show. Lisa Lyon is a witness. Unfortunately, Art Bell is deceased. Ingo Swan and Edgar Mitchell took it to their grave with them. They're also deceased, but are witness to the 9/11 correct predictions. And that 0 Point Energy is working. So that is in 1990 when I make those warnings, and I give it to 40 College Street, the police headquarters. And then okay, the camera split into 2 files because I'm at 15 minutes, but the battery is still strong. So that's 1990. 2006, I hand out a correct list of predictions. Fukushima, BP oil spill, Tory Stafford, Russell Williams. Again, it goes to the Toronto Police. It goes to the reporters in Toronto. Robyn Doolittle has all these predictions. She's in on the 9/11 predictions. She's in on the Tory Stafford prediction. She was a reporter at the Toronto Star at this time. She's now at the Globe and Mail. Robyn investigated this. She's a very good investigative reporter. I've heard that she found Ingo Swann's girlfriend from the Scientology Center in New York City from 1972. David Walmsley, editor of the Globe and Mail, you are a coward. Charles Falzon, dean of FCAD, you are a coward. 100% they have my correct predictions. You could have done something about it. You soiled your underwear. You hid under your bed in a very cowardly way. I hope Congress finds you and they grill you. I hope Congress grills you. And you know what? John Alexander should hang for treason. Stronach told Bill Clinton about 9/11. That happened on the golf course in Aurora. Bill Clinton plays golf. Stronach himself does not golf. Stronach does not play golf. Bill Clinton plays golf. So it was at 2006, that's the IRVA conference. Alexander takes the hard copy and gets squashed down. Doolittle goes to Stafford. Dale goes to Russell Williams. And that is when the reporters say to me, we can't just do whatever we want. We have to vet it through a lawyer, and they're not going to allow us to do anything about this, and it got quashed down by the editor. At this time, they are Toronto Star. Dale is now CNN. So that then in 2013, with the same Robyn Doolittle, the same reporter who chased after Rob Ford when he was on crack cocaine, and he was the mayor of Toronto. She comes to Ryerson in 2013. We make a new list of predictions, which is the France set. The 3 events in France, Pulse nightclub, the 3 events in Toronto, inside Danforth MacArthur. That goes to David Walmsley and gets quashed, and that is what Mark Sandler at the review finds. And when I went into the review, they already crossed Ryerson. They knew everything. They knew everything. I didn't even tell them things, and they knew things I never told them. Sandler is a very good investigator. He found the France warnings that the police are frantically trying to hide the liars Saunders, Rayburn, DEMKIW. The current chief of police, Myron DEMKIW, 100% knows all about this. And he another coward, because he knows about this. DEMKIW, why don't you stand up and do a press conference? Have Mayor Tory stand beside you. Where's the press conference? Where's the press conference? You did a press conference when Tory resigned, but why don't you do a press conference that all my predictions are correct? And you squandered it. It was you, DEMKIW, and Saunders who dismissed the France warnings. You could have arrested MacArthur in 2013, and you were too lazy to get off of your fat, stinking ass. I hope Congress finds you, and they grill you. And you've tarnished the name of civilians, which is a line that should never be crossed. You have tarnished the name of civilians. And shame on you. You want to just walk off with your $1 million pension and then lie to the whole world and cover up the cure for cancer and cover up free energy. Shame on you. Shame on you. And you too, Falzon and Walmsley, you cowards. Congress needs to voir dire these witnesses. In 2019, the review makes an audio recording of the coronavirus, Kobe Bryant, Ukraine jet, and Gabriel Wortman. Then they went and falsified their report, and they tarnished the name of civilians. Someone at the feds took my deputation from City Hall, deliberate, on purpose. They stuck it into the Epstein files so that these witnesses can be called, and we can cross-examine them, and we could put zero-point energy into the public domain. Get me a new RV monitor, and we're making a new set of predictions which can save innocent lives. Kobe Bryant would have been alive today if Walmsley and Falzon did the emergency broadcast like they promised me they would. What happened to that? Why did you chicken out, Mr. Falzon? And then number 3 is hold the negligence accountable. So it's 3 things. Place zero-point energy into the public domain, hold the negligence accountable, including the treason on 9/11 that the insiders should hang for. Alexander is one. And number 3, take an act on new predictions. And I hope Congress will call me to testify in the UAP hearings, call me to testify in the Epstein hearings, 100% the feds know what happened at Ryerson. They would not have put that in. They did not put that in by accident or mistake into the Epstein files. They have double checked and triple checked and quadruple checked what happened at Ryerson. They have a Colleen confession. They have the warnings. They know the 0-point energy is working. They know you can make correct predictions. They know these 5 women manifested superpowers and that's reproducible. That's why EFTA Dataset 9 shows up in the Epstein files, because this is the way forward and this is the path to disclosure, and that we're this close. A few more steps and we're there. Just a few more steps. Congress needs to cross the Toronto witnesses, and then we have 0-point energy.